So I like to have a good lunch or breakfast, whatever meal it is before it's time for me to go to work. I like to have a good meal. And I'm working on bringing something like solid with me, not something that has like a bunch of sugar in it, but just something that's enough to give you that extra little push, because sometimes you need it just depending on, the client lineup for the day. So I do like to have me a good meal. Today I decided to make a salad. Now I'm going to show you at the end here, or I'll pop it up somewhere on the screen. I actually recreated this salad to the best of my ability on Salada's website. I told you guys I used to work for Salada, and that's how I know how to make these salads. The salad was like over $30, and they no longer sell the crab meat, which is my favorite part of the salad. That's absolutely ridiculous. If you wanted to eat this salad every day of the week, which I do most days of the week, like I try to have it for like lunch or dinner, I couldn't actually afford it. I mean, it's way too much money to spend on a salad. So here is how I recreate the salad. Hello, and welcome to another video. So I'm in the car and headed to work. It's still the weekend. We ended the video yesterday. Did I take a massage after? I didn't take any massage after I ended the video. This morning I woke up to massage appointments on one of the apps, and it was with one of their little partners. Now, this place is probably like an hour and 30 minutes away from my home. And if it was like a weekday or a day that I actually had, childcare and everything set up, I probably would take it. It was a decent amount of money. Is to pay fair? Well, that's up to what you think fair is, huh? I believe it was at $45 an hour for an 8-hour shift. When I went in and read some of the specs, it said that the app could choose to, or the provider could choose to trim the hours. So basically luring you out there with the promise of more hours. But because I live so far away, the whole luring thing is just not very luring to me. Okay, very attractive at all. So I thought it was actually for the next day, and I actually wouldn't have been able to take it at all because it was for the same day. So I quickly reached out to the app and let them know the time that you guys sent it out to me and the time that it would actually take me to travel there. Those times don't line up, and they were very gracious to me and went ahead and took me off of the schedule. So now I'm about to head to work, and then we'll talk a little bit more. I just don't want to be late, so hold on. So like I was saying, we have that appointment. Well, I had that offer, which I would have taken, like I said, if the scheduling was a bit better. But I literally had woken up, looked at my phone, and saw that the appointment was there, and just without even thinking, I just went ahead and clicked it. And I would not advise doing that. But I'm gonna be honest with you, this app in particular, you just got to move very quickly because stuff be gone. I also have a back-to-back massage after work on a day this coming week, so we're going to see how that works. The Lord says the same in Spirit's life, right? Which means I would have a total of 5, 6, 7 appointments for that day, something that I've never done. I've done 6 massages total in a day, and I didn't really like it. Okay, but nevertheless, it's going to be all right, because this past was it Friday? This past Friday, so yesterday, I told you guys on the last video, my schedule usually has the capabilities for 5, but what happened was I had 2 90 minutes, so I only had 3 appointments. So that would be perfect to have a day like that again for the back-to-back appointments. But I think what I'm going to do is just ask my boss to put my break at the bottom, so then I'm going to do all 4 massages in a row. I'll do 4 massages in a row, and that way, as soon as I leave on break, I can go and head to the other appointments. I think that's what I'm going to do. So it's already on the books. It's already scheduled. I can reach out to the client. I'm going to reach out to them just a little later in the week, just to see about the timing and stuff, because it's literally right on the hour that I get off, and I didn't want to miss out on the back-to-back opportunity, because I love back-to-back appointments. Okay. So yeah, I'm headed off to work, and today I also have 3 appointments on the schedule when I usually have 4, because I have a 90-minute in there, and I'm telling you, I don't mind it at all. Looks like one appointment, my last appointment for the day, is a couples massage, and it's a request appointment, so I get paid for the request, get paid for the couples massage. And I remember this client, he likes a light massage, so I really love a last appointment light massage. Really love that. Okay. The first appointment, they have packages to use, so it looks like 17 packages, and they did an upgrade. So I'm definitely going to see if they want to add something else, maybe a little CBD oil, something in there to use the rest of their package, and then also I get commissions for that as well. I'm not going to push the issue, but if they want to add something else, I'll let them know that they can do that, because they have so many packs. Right, that was my alarm saying it's time to go. I didn't see the second one to see if they did have packages available, but we'll see. So that's it. I also bought, let's see, this with me, which is herb and garlic tuna. I didn't bring crackers today. I just bought me a spoon, and I'm gonna have that if I need something to eat after the first 2 massages, because I just told you I had that really big salad and I have eaten breakfast, but I was legit still hungry after breakfast. Oh, look, a food truck. Oh, a good food truck. What's that? Oh, trail time. Okay, anyway, girl, so I'll see you guys for my break, and if not for my break, I'll see you at the end of the shift. So I just finished my first massage, and remember I told you the person had like a lot of packages, and I was going to not upsell them, but just like, you know, see if they wanted to use some of their packages. And I'm gonna do this just like while we're doing these videos. I told you I would do like a certain kind of recap. I'm not gossiping about nobody, I'm not gossiping about the clients, but just so you can kind of get, I don't know, I'm just trying to help you get like realistic view of how it is. Okay, so she upgraded a foot treatment, deep tissue to 90 minutes, so 30-minute upgrade. 30-minute upgrade. What else? Aromatherapy scalp upgrade and CBD upgrade. So 5 upgrades within one session. One thing that I really like about this location, just this company in general, is they charge for everything. And I know what you might think, well, that's bad for the client. Well, you earn points and all this kind of stuff. It actually ends up being really good for the clients as well. The best franchise, like massage franchise place that I've worked for. I remember, I was thinking about this during the massage. I remember I used to work for another place, and they used to like give free stuff. Like, so you could get free aromatherapy, and I mean, they don't charge much for it here, but it's enough to like enhance the service, you know what I mean? And it's not just an enhancement for the client, it's also an enhancement for the therapist. So I actually really like that. So the client just wanted to relax, basically. When I saw deep tissue on the thing, I wasn't at all fazed by the deep tissue, because when someone wants a foot treatment and scalp massage, usually they're not wanting that kind of put you through the table massage, you know what I mean? So yeah, I basically gave her a firm Swedish. She was a good client. She really enjoyed her massage. She said she didn't want to fall asleep, but toward the end she actually did fall asleep. She was like, she had a conversation with her husband saying like, you don't fall asleep during the massage because then you don't feel the massage, but I'm pretty sure she'll converse with him saying like, hey, I fell asleep too, which I like. That was my longest massage of the day, so the other 2 massages are going to seem very quick, and I told you that one of them are a couples massage. So I'm going to sit here, do this to my arm because I feel my arm getting a little tight here. I see an appointment for an hour massage, mobile massage, but it's at 5:30. I'm going to be at work. I can't take it. So there's that. So I'll talk to you guys later. Oh, that tuna. Oh, that tuna. Okay. So let me do my notes so I can hurry and get out of here. I'm going to tell y'all. I'm going to do the recap on today. Okay, so I'm going to try to make this quick. As you can tell, it's nighttime. It's the end of, I have ended my shift. It is nighttime. Apparently there was a little issue with, weird client at the front there, which is kind of off-putting. But let's talk. My first client, let me see if I can turn that off. You can hear me. My first client, like after the break, did they want to relax? No, he didn't want to relax. He just wanted to focus on his, he did want to relax, but he wanted to focus on his, low back. And then when I started doing the massage, I needed to do very deep, almost firm pressure because he was just very tight all over. And I talked to you guys about these clients before. Their body is just, sometimes hard. You can explain it as hard. But I gave him the best massage that I could give him, and he left me, the envelope felt really big. I'm not going to count the tip and tell you, but he left me a really big tip. And he was very kind, he was very relaxed, and I appreciate that, because like I said, it was just like, it was very hard. It was very hard massage. The second client that I had after my break, also 50-minute, like 60-minute, hour, whatever you want to call it. Call it 50-minute. 50-minute massage, and he likes light pressure, but it's really like, yeah, I guess I'll call it light pressure. He likes light pressure massage. It was a couples, and he said, I don't know if you remember me. And I thought that was funny, because of course I remember. Like, you know, of course I remember. And I kind of like that the client doesn't think that you remember, because then it takes some of the pressure off me. And he was like, I requested you by name, because that, when we left out of here, I was telling my wife that was the best massage ever. And I said, man, well, no pressure, right? So he enjoyed his massage again, and I'm grateful for that as well. So that's the end of tonight. Again, a lot of appointments popping up there. Let me turn this on. A lot of appointments popping up there on the screen while I'm working. But today is Saturday, so that is to be expected. I guess I would say, I mean, I don't really know what happened, so I don't want to be giving like the scoop on what happened when I don't really know. It just sounds like there was a guy who was like, he probably should have been turned around, but maybe the girls didn't know how to turn him around. And I also want to use this as an opportunity to talk about, when you're in this business, if you work at a front desk, if you do out calls, you go to people's homes, wear appropriate clothing. If you got hips, thighs, don't discriminate against pies, and you got, you know, breast and chest and all that kind of stuff. We understand all that, but all of that needs to be behind, preferably scrubs, preferably something that doesn't showcase it in the way. I'm not saying that you can cover up thighs and bum and breast and all that kind of stuff, but you know what I mean. You need to wear, you see how my attire is very professional. The V in this neck is not in the middle of my breast. I have on very like flowy linen pants right now. They're not tight. I don't wear tight pants, and it's for that reason. So don't be surprised if you have everything on display and then you get comments and just people who like what it is that you have on display. I talked to you guys about this when I talked about cleaning up your Instagram, and maybe I'll talk a little bit more about that when you can actually see me, okay? So that's the nightcap for today, and I'll see you guys later. Now, they don't technically have food at the place that we went to, and I usually stop by like restaurant and get her something to eat, and myself, everybody. I usually stop and get everybody something to eat, and it really be looking like $60. So on my way walking out the door, I saw that someone who had a birthday party, because you can bring in outside food if you have a birthday party. Girl, she was making nachos, like ghetto nachos with the crock pot. And I said, baby, that sure sounds good. And it's a whole heck of a lot cheaper than stopping by Raising Cane's for the whole family. So here's a little pro tip, girl. If you didn't know, put a little jalapeno juice in them nachos, okay? In this case, it's cheese fries, but you know what I mean. Now, I don't obsess over planning things, because we make plans and God orchestrates our life. At least I let him orchestrate mine. But I am going to sit down and do a little bit of planning. As you can see, there's a lot more to my life, and I know to yours as well, especially if you have children, than just working. So in order to keep everything, going in a very like a symphony, running smoothly. I like to write things down. Girl, we use whiteboards, we use sticky notes, planners, anything you can use to keep things in a row for you. I find that it's helpful. And planning out the month, especially when a new month rolls around, especially like as it relates to finances, it's just a wise thing to do, girl. Good morning. So it is a little after 7 o'clock. I just dropped off the kids, so I have about an hour or a little under an hour until it's time for me to get up and go to work. My schedule is full today. I checked it probably around 3 yesterday and I had one empty slot. I checked it again before 5 o'clock and all of the slots were full. Most of them has been full since sometime last week, like I'll say like Wednesday or Thursday last week. We have a few requested appointments. As a matter of fact, 3 of the appointments on the books today are like they've been assigned to you based off request. I do get paid additional for that, so that's nice. And I think the first one that I have this morning has like an extra, but I'll update you as those come. So it's the 2 break in 2, so that I'll update you after I take the first 2. I want to set everything up in the room as normal, including the hot stones. In case somebody wants to upgrade hot stones, I have that ready. Tomorrow's schedule, I mean, I know that's kind of too far in advance, but as of right now, I only have one on tomorrow's schedule. There was an appointment that popped up last night. I told you guys this happens frequently, where the appointment will go from like a normal rate. I think it went up to $150. It was at a hotel. I didn't take it. First of all, it was a male client. It was in the middle of the night. It was far away. The hotel was the only good thing about that. And maybe if it was closer, maybe. But girl, I'm not about to drive 40 minutes away to go to a hotel to deal with no creepiness, okay? Because that's really all that it is that late at night. Especially if it's not an advanced booking. That's what I found. There also is one that just popped up this morning. Again, I'm already going to be at work, so I can't take it. The client already has a table, which means they get massages frequently. And I talked to you guys about this as well. When someone has a table because they get massages frequently, but they don't have like a therapist that they work with, to me, it's not a red flag in that I wouldn't take it at all. It's just something to be aware of. Why do they already have a table, yet they don't have like a massage therapist? So you get massaged often, and you mean to tell me you haven't found one massage that you like? So whatever, there's that. But again, I can't take it because I'll be working, and it's 41 minutes away, which is pretty far. Not going to do that either. So that's what it is for today. I'm going to sit here and do a little Bible study and get up, wash off my face, get ready. I've already eaten my breakfast. I still have some of my tea left over, which I want to finish up, and that's it. Dinner is already made. Girl, the rice, the chicken. The only thing I have to make for dinner is vegetable because my husband finished off the chicken. So let me do what I got to do this morning. Here's the pants that I was telling you guys about. These are linen pants, and at first I didn't think that I would like them because they were just way different than the scrub pants that I was used to wearing, but they feel very, very comfortable. Now, they're a little wrinkled right now, so I'm going to throw them in the dryer, but this is the pants that I wear. Has a little drawstring up here. They're just very comfortable. And sometimes the AC is like off in the room. Sometimes it's on in the room and it's really cold. Sometimes it's off in the room and it's really hot. And these pants are really comfortable. And I just wear it with like my normal scrub shirt. I'm about to move because I parked underneath this tree and that's just asking for it. So I just moved my car because I parked under the tree and my husband just washed my car. Anyway, so my first appointment canceled. Not canceled. She moved it for another time. She was going to be running behind 30 minutes. And I mean, girl, who wants a 20-minute massage at this point? So it's all good. I don't trip when people cancel or they don't show up or anything like that, because at the end of the day, sometimes a cancellation is your protection. Sometimes a cancellation is, you know, somebody's getting what they needed from another person. So, you know, I'm not the girl for that. So I have some extra time. I could have taken that massage that's still popping up on my appointment with the guy with the table. Like I said, I think wasn't it 40 minutes away, or did he just have the table? I think it was 41 minutes away. Girl, this is, you know, stuff that come in the car. Anyway. Okay, so I'm done my first massage of the day. It was a 50-minute back only. The client wanted back only. I actually need to sit here and do my notes. The client wanted back only, and yeah. I actually was able to work through the back. Sometimes when people say back only, it really be like, what back? You know, it'd be like, what we're gonna do for this amount of time, but it wasn't like that. Girl, look at the hangnails on that hand. Anyway, so she did back only. She also wanted a scalp massage, which I gave her a scalp massage. I didn't upgrade her for it, but I didn't use aromatherapy either. I just did like a regular scalp massage. And yeah, I mean, so like I said, I want to give recaps like that, but I also want to use these kind of like, we just flowing. Okay, so flow with me. Sometimes clients don't, like, we can't help anybody relax, and that's kind of a life lesson kind of thing, right? You can't help anybody do anything. You can lead, what do they say, a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. You can, you know, I can set the ambiance. I can be ready myself to give you, you know, the best massage. I can do all those things. I can have the skill set to give you the best massage, but if you don't set your intentions on relaxing, you know, there's nothing much that I can do. So she was a very antsy client, which I would say I don't get them a lot, but it happens. And I just don't let it affect the service that I'm going to give. Because at the end of the day, I know you have a lot going on in your life. That's, you know, obvious, but I can't change that. Now, if you want to have a conversation about the one who can change that, then we'll do that. But I'm not going to push that on you either. So that was how that client went. I have a request after my break, which I don't know who the person is, but I have 2 more massages left, and those, I don't have a break in between them, obviously. So I'll just see you guys after I'm done that. I'm going to sit here and do my notes. All right. All done. That was a good day. We're going to do this recap quick because it's hot in this car. Okay. Second client after my break. Wait, was it the first client? I already told you about the lady. Yes, I did. So second client after my break, I found out that his wife actually recommended him. That's how he got my name. So that was interesting. That was a good massage as well. He tipped me twice. He tipped me on credit card, and he turned around and gave me the weirdest tip. You know, like somebody like slide money in your hand, like you just did something that you weren't supposed to be doing. And I was like, oh, thank you. And I didn't expect him to tip me again, but he did. And then the second lady, also, she came in, she requested me, I guess, based on pressure, you know, recommendations based on pressure. And she said, you know, I don't usually do this. And I'm not going to tell you what she did, when she said I don't usually do this. But I just want to tell you this, that whenever somebody says they don't usually do in a certain context, you just wait for the Holy Spirit to enter into the room. I was about to say enter into the chat, enter into the room. Whenever somebody does something they say they don't usually do, I always look for the Lord to move. And move he did. So I was very grateful for that. 2 good massages. Now I am off to do what I got to do. Oh, my last client upgraded CBD as well as stones. Is that all the upgrades? That's the only upgrades I did today. So Monday is usually like a good day. There's that. Monday's a good day. I need to go to the I need to go to Walmart so I can return these. Even though I opened them, He hates them. Let's see, there you go. He hates them. So I'm gonna return them. You thought I forgot about you? Hello. It's another day, girl. It's a little after 2:30. I just arrived to work, so I am early for my 3 o'clock schedule. Last time I checked my schedule, I only had 1 appointment on. I'm here a little early, so I'm actually gonna do my notes that I didn't do yesterday. My bad. Was it yesterday? Yes, it was yesterday. I didn't do yesterday, so let me do them today. If I only have 1 appointment today, girl, that's just fine with me, okay? So we start our break early, because a break the next day I'll be taking massages. Like I said, I have like 7 massages to do, so 1 today is just fine. So let's get started with 1. I spoke too soon. I have 2 appointments. They're back to back. Okay, I'll see you later. Oh, hurt my knee! Did you know the birds chirp this late at night? I don't think I ever noticed that. Man, today was a girl, let me sit this thing down. Let me put this thing somewhere cozy. Oh, let's just sit it right here. Girl. So remember how I said I only had 1 appointment on the books? I had a full schedule. I had 4 massages back to back, no break. And I call that a full schedule, especially for a Tuesday, and especially because I thought that I had 1. The one that was on my schedule had been on my schedule for quite some time. Let's talk. Came out of the room from the 1 appointment. I had 3 more appointments. No break, 3 more appointments until I left. And you know what? I didn't even mind. Let's talk about the client list here. Girl, not that kind of client list. You know what I mean. First client. Rude. First rude client that I've had. I mean, I've had people a little spicy, but she was like spicy intentionally. I'm going to intentionally not like the massage. Turns out she wanted someone else, and I guess the person wasn't available, and so she just kind of wanted to find something to complain about. Now, what she doesn't know is I'm like, you know, the pressure girl. So if she would have asked for more pressure, which I asked her during the massage, was the pressure okay? Was everything okay? She didn't say, yeah. She was like, yeah. But I could tell just by, first when I came to get her, she had like a little spicy attitude, like just rude, overall rude. You know, like somebody's like, is this my therapist kind of attitude? You know what I mean? Just like she just didn't want to be there. And I don't know why you would book something if you didn't want to be there, but that's just beyond me. Okay? To be nasty like that. Girl, don't ever be nasty. You don't know who you being nasty to. Don't ever be nasty, okay? Don't have it to say that it was you being nasty. So that's how that went. And she was just like, she wanted more pressure. Like I said, I did ask her. And then I talked to my boss. My boss like, yeah, she's always like that. But so she won't be back on my table. She left me a tip. A bad tip. I would call it a bad tip. Like she was just being overall ugly. And like I said, I could tell just, I don't really care about tips, but it's more about the attitude and then making up stuff. You know what I mean? Even when I asked. She wanted somebody else. She wanted to go with the person that she normally goes with. So I don't know for what reason. I will say that, you know, I don't do any sorcery during my massage, so maybe she just wanted her massage with a hint of a witchcraft in there, and that's not a service that I provide, so that's not what she wanted. So there's that. I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm just being honest. Sometimes people just simply don't like. They like a different style of massage, but if the complaint is more pressure, like she just wanted to not like it. I don't know how to explain it to you. Like when I turned her over, I was like, everything okay? You know, same question you ask everybody else. And she just kind of had this look on her face, like sitting there with her eyes open, just looking like she didn't want to be there. Great, any point in time you can stop the massage and that'd be okay. So that's how that was. But the crazy thing is she actually fell asleep like toward the end of the massage. So she didn't say she didn't like it. She just said something about the pressure. Like I said, she wanted who she wanted. They should have gave her who she wanted. So, you know, I'm not going to say that that was like a damper in my day, because I already said I'm not in control of your emotions. If you like something, you don't like something, you want something, you don't want something, you're a grown person. You can let me know. Okay? We're grown-ups here. I'm a professional. You're a grown-up. You can let me know. And I don't feel any kind of way if you said that you don't like something. So there's that. And don't think, I just don't like the whole, don't think you're doing me no favors by tipping me and not tipping me. Girl, do what you do. Do what you do. And whatever spirit you do it in, do that. And that's just going to be between you and the Lord. So I definitely was like, Lord, okay, that's the only massage I have. I'm about to head out of here anyway. Of course I prayed about it. I don't have to tell you what prayer I prayed about it because it's unnecessary. But when I walked back into the break room, not only did I have a full book, everybody else had a full book. And yes, I do believe that the Lord answers prayers. And I do know, I do know that the Lord answers prayers, and I do know that he answered them swiftly. My next client came in, was it an elderly lady? And boy, she tickled me. I'm not even gonna tell you all. She was like, babe, you do get in the feet, don't you? Oh, you do. Can you just? She just wants somebody to rub on her. My mom just wanted to be rubbed on. My neck up here. I go up to her neck. Oh, that feels so good. I love your rhythm. You got some rhythm, baby. She was talking like that to me the whole time, and I just thought it was so adorable. And while I was doing the massage, I heard the scripture that when you were young, you went where you want, and then when you're old, you'll be carried where you don't wish to go. And I also heard another scripture. I can't remember where the scripture is, but I'll try to leave it for you on the screen, where I believe it was Jesus speaking. I could be wrong, but he's always speaking, so there's that. That you treat other people with kindness, because no, it wasn't Jesus. It was Paul, I believe, was speaking. You treat other people with kindness because life could happen to us all. And what I was hearing was, old age, if God says the same and graces you to get old, you will be in the position of this old lady. And how would you want somebody to treat you? Because my mom just didn't really have it all together. Okay? She was all over the place, but it was funny. And I was just being kind, because I was literally thinking about, Lord, if you spare my life and allow me to live to 85 years old, I would want somebody to be gentle and kind with me, even in listening to me talk about complete nonsense. She was saying, can you rub my shoulder because I'm doing my taxes, and it really, it gets me all tense. You think at 85 years old they stop bothering you about your taxes? She was just so adorable. And I did, she was the third client. So the second client was actually an elderly gentleman as well, very kind. And that first lady, she tried to, the devil thought he had me, but he didn't. The second gentleman was an older gentleman as well. He just wanted his low back and his legs, and I did what he asked. And then once I finished his low back and his legs, he was like, you know what? Wherever else you need to massage me, you can go. Very sweet. Very sweet. Last client was a younger gentleman, tall fella, tall drink of water, very tall fella. I'm talking 7 foot, and I'm down here at a mere 5'3". Okay, so very tall fella. And let me tell you, this man enjoyed his massage so much. He fell asleep several times. He was apologizing so many times for falling asleep. And the last fell asleep. See, I was about to do little hot towels on the feet because I'm like, a little relaxing, because he only wanted his back. Now he's 7 foot, so he had enough back to last a whole 50 minutes. He did. But I said, you know what? We did the back, we did the neck, working on all that. Let's finish this off with some feet, because who doesn't love feet? People don't say they want their foot massage, but baby, my foot massage is like the whipped cream and cherry. You do want your foot massage, let me massage these feet, okay? And I didn't know that he was sleeping. I thought he was just doing deep breaths. No, I did a little hot towel, tried to pull a hot towel, didn't even get the hot towel on the foot, just hot towel, just steam near. Homeboy almost hopped up completely off the table and kicked me dead in my face. He didn't kick me in my face. But I don't think I've ever seen someone at all, let alone someone that tall, go from a complete laying down position to off the bed. I said, man, how you living? You used to hopping out of a bed, child. And he said, oh, I'm so sorry, sweetie. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, you didn't kick me. Baby, I moved out of the way as soon as I saw the sheep move, because I didn't know what you were doing. And I was like, oh, you scared me. And there's that. So today ended up being a really good day. I am not doing another massage until Friday, okay? Because the weekend is already jumping. The work schedule is not packed yet, but that's okay. The mobile massage schedule is very much packed at this point in time. And I won't ever let Friday and Saturday fool me and say, I ain't got none on my schedule. I ain't gonna have none on my schedule. It's gonna be packed, okay? And the Lord's gonna give us grace to deal with a packed schedule. So let me sit here, do my notes, call my husband, and I'm gonna talk to you later. Somebody did leave me a cash tip. I just don't know who it is because I can't really read the name. So I have to look at the notes and see. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I'm grateful for it all. Hello. Don't mind my bed that it's not made. I'm here at my computer doing some work, and I was actually in the bathroom doing some work, like putting together video, hair video, and I got a little massage appointment, and I'm like, I ain't about to do that deep tissue. I ain't feeling it. I ain't doing it. And I realized it's very close. It's very close, and I very seldomly see appointments this close outside the place that I normally frequent. And come on now, I'm looking for the Lord to move. I'm looking for big opportunities. I'm looking for just an opportunity for the Lord to show up. You know what I mean? Outside the normal, the normal appointments. So it just kept coming through. And I know when the appointments just keep coming through, they want you to take it. And how you know they want you to take it, like the app has kind of singled you out, if you know what I mean, for whatever reason, be it client feedback, be it your preferences, be it your location, whatever reason, be it the favor of the Lord. Come on now. As soon as I pressed it, I saw that it disappeared, and I know when that happens, it's because I got to confirm. So I stared at it for a little while longer, and I'm like, man, you said you was going to be off today. Do you really want to go? I confirmed it. And I knew because I didn't even move quickly. I said, let me see. And I just took an observation of what kind of place it was, and it's an energy company. And the appointment was made actually through the assistant. So for appointments like this, everything's always in its place by the grace of God. But everything's going to definitely be in order. I have my uniform washing up. I'm going to not restyle my hair, but just make sure my hair is pulled back very professionally, because I'm going in a building, and I actually used to work at this building doing some other stuff. So the Lord is faithful. And used to deal with, assistants and all that kind of stuff. So the Lord is just faithful. I know how this goes. Anyway, so I just want to share that with you because we are going to do that appointment. It's not for another hour. I don't need to get ready for another hour and 30 minutes. But I did want to let you know that we actually are off. I just taking one, but I couldn't leave this one. So as you just saw, that building is the building I'm going to, the really tall building. And even more than it just being a really tall building or anything like that, like I said, I'm waiting for an opportunity for the Lord to move. And I actually used to work, I told you guys, for an energy company a long time ago. And I was working there as a barista, but I started doing some catering work. And, the Lord showed me favor in the job, so I got a chance to move around. Well, this building that I'm going into is the same building that when I did helping for another account. This is the account they sent me to. Now, when they sent me to that account, I was making about $12.50. $12.50. And I'm just so blessed and so grateful that, you see, when the word says that your gift will make room for you and bring you in front of great and mighty men, this is what they mean. I know a lot of people think when the scripture says your gifts will make room for you, that you don't have to sit, that you don't have to do nothing. You could just sit around and then your gifts are just going to part waters and make room. No, you actually got to move. And as you're moving, the gift is going to make room for you and sit you in front of great and mighty men. I feel the Holy Spirit, and I'm excited about this massage. But here I am. I've arrived at the place, and I don't want to be late. Now you saw the parking garage, and you can imagine how much walking I'm going to have to do. Imagine having to carry this table the whole way, okay? So my wagon, again, comes in handy. And I would highly suggest to get a wagon. It just looks more professional. You're not as tired when you're greeting people. Anyway, we already had that conversation many times, but I just wanted to mention it again. I'm going to go ahead, put all of my sheets and stuff in here. I have my full laundry bag in here. And then I have my little wet bag to put the dirty linen in when I'm all done. put my backpack on my back, make sure everything's full, and then we about to roll out. I didn't show you the whole way that I had to walk because I was actually meeting with the assistant. Here's the room, and I didn't have much time to show you the room because the gentleman actually came in and just got on the table while I was there. He didn't like take off his bottoms or anything, so don't think nothing crazy. But here's the room. I only had 2 outlets in the room, so I couldn't plug up the table because I did plug up the hot stones. But we're all done, and as you can see, a lot of walking. Oh, Jesus. I don't even know if I want to tell you everything, but let me just tell you that the Lord surely is faithful. It was the CEO of the company. And that's all I'm going to say is the Lord surely is faithful. When we're going to look back on this together and you say, Tanzania, how did you XYZ? I'm going to say, remember that time I told you that the Lord surely is faithful. Remember that time that I told you that the Lord surely does answer prayers. Remember that time. Remember that video where I was sweating and I told you that the Lord is faithful. That's how it happened. It happened then. Oh, Jesus, help me. Was the massage good? No. That was probably one of the worst massages. But the Lord surely is faithful. Okay? Because I know how this thing works. And that's all I'm going to say. Let me check in with my husband because I didn't even give him the address of where I was going, Lord. I am tired. And there's no water in here. They offer me water, but you never take their water and their food when you're on business. Sit down, sir. Sit down. Sit down. He used to be doing whatever he wanted to do. I left him in here, rolled the windows down and stuff just so he could, he usually comes with me to drop off the kids. And today, I was like, you know what? I'm going to get me some breakfast, and I'm just chilling out today. Is this the wrong way? This is most definitely the wrong way. I already looked at my schedule. As soon as I woke up this morning, I saw appointments, people requested appointments, and I am grateful for that. However, I was given an instruction about how many days to work, so I'm not going to work today. And as tempting as it is to, because these are my personal clients, right? As tempting as it is to make, however much money for however much time, there's still a way that I like to do business. And I'm not a call girl, right? So you can't just call me up. You gotta give me some advance time, even if it is just a day. Even if it is you message me early in the morning and then you say, can we schedule an appointment for tonight? But you can't text me at night and be like, can I come that night? I'm not a call girl. So they'll have to learn that. They're a new acquisition of mine. But remember what I told you, rich people go by different rules. They make their own rules, okay? So you gotta let them know up front how it is. They don't like to do, filling out stuff, apps and all that. They don't like to do all that. Just send me a text message, but there is a little, time in there that you have to let me know. So I'm not working today. Baby, today is church. Church is today. My church finally opened today, and I am so excited. Lord, have mercy on me, because it's been a long time. So I'm excited. I'm going to relax today. I don't have anything to do. Not even my own hair. Not even my hair. I know you're looking like, girl, you got to do something hair? No, just a little water. Just put a little water on it. And that's what I'm going to do. So I'm about to go home, eat my breakfast, probably take me a walk, do some real chill things, maybe even color. Do some real chill things. And I will see you guys tomorrow, because tomorrow we have a full day. Also, with that being said, I'm probably going to contact the client. I have a back-to-back tomorrow after I leave work. I'm going to contact that client and see what they want, see what we can do on the time. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Good morning. And I do mean good morning. Let's just put these on because I haven't washed my face, okay? Good morning. We have a long day this morning. I have a long day. You ain't doing nothing but watching the video. I have a long day this morning. I have a long day today. Last I checked my schedule last night. Hello, Kendall. I checked my schedule last night. I still have one opening spot. I did get 190 minutes, so I don't have as many appointments as I could have, which is good for me. And then I still have that back-to-back appointment tonight. I did message a client yesterday and see if it was okay for me to come an hour and 15 minutes later than planned, and they said yes. So I scheduled to be later just because of the time that I get off of work. The client actually has a table as well, so I love that. However, they did ask me to bring extra sheets. I already have those, and I'm going to bring my bolster and stuff because I find that clients usually don't have those things. So there is like a smaller bag that I'm going to pack to bring to this client's home specifically because they said they already have a table. I do have a client that has a table as well that they don't have a face cradle on their table. So I'm going to bring my face cradle just in case they don't have one. But other than that, let's wake up and get today started. Okay, so it is 8:10 and my shift starts at 9. However, I blocked off my 9 o'clock because I had a few things to do this morning. Total, like life day happened, right? I'm going to go pick up my husband from the service center to drop off his car, from dropping off his car and all that kind of stuff. So the day kind of got a little bit, But, the Lord is so gracious because I didn't have a 9 o'clock appointment, so I was able to block that time slot off. And now my first appointment doesn't start until 10 o'clock. I did drink my little V8 energy drink, and I bought my lunch and stuff with me. So I would have just been able to drop her off and then head to work, and I would still made it there on time. But I brought the dog with me, so the dog can't come to work with me. So in that case, I'm going, instead of letting the shuttle, how they do like courtesy shuttle when you go do something with your car. Instead of doing that, I'm just going to go pick my husband up so that he could bring the dog back in. And then I'm going to head to work. I have my lunch kit with me and everything. And I'm trying to think, is there anything else that I need to get from the home? Because I'm not going to come back home until I do the 2 back-to-back appointments. So far, the schedule is looking good. Like I said, nobody booked that 9 o'clock appointment. And I'm actually I'm glad about it, okay? I know that I need to do a little self-care to my arms. I can just feel the tightness overall in my body, and I need to get that together before my shift as well. I have 190 minute, and I think I only have 3 massages today, if I'm not mistaken, which is just fine with me. 3 massages at work, and then the 2 massages later. So I just want to tell you that it was like a little. You're gonna see me pop back on the screen. And I wanted you to know that I actually been ripping and running this morning. I had to stop and get homegirl breakfast because I thought she was going to stay at home today because my husband's car wasn't going to be picked up, all that kind of stuff. But we got it all done, and we headed in the right direction. Let me listen to my music, and I'm going to see you later. Hello. So I finally made it. Let me see what time it is. It is 9:09. So if I would not have blocked off my schedule for that time, I actually would be late. But right now, I'm on time because my first appointment is not till 10. I'm not going to go in right now. I'm just going to sit tight. I'm listening to something on my phone. I'm going to sit tight, and then I'll go in probably like 30 minutes after or so and start setting up my room. As of right now, I actually don't see any upgrades for clients except a time upgrade, which I will check and see if the person wants some like hot stones or something, so I'll make sure to set those up. Also, I'm going to go in while I have some extra time and look at the notes for the appointment, like their notes, like preferences and stuff from their last appointment, things like that. So sit tight, and I'll see you guys in a moment. Hello. I am on an extended break. So my 90-minute that I had canceled, and I wasn't at all upset. And you know why I wasn't upset. So I actually have a few errands to run. I asked for an extended break since the 90-minute canceled. I moved one of the clients up to a 90-minute upgrade to a 90-minute, and then the other appointment, like I said, canceled. So that's fine. That's fine. Hard body, that's fine. That's fine. I already know my last client is a request and someone that I've already done a massage with. And if I can remember correctly, very relaxing type of massage. So that works out perfectly. I just want to give you this update. I need to, something happened that really annoyed me. And I remembered why I stopped doing this. I stopped doing these videos. I stopped doing day in the life stuff because to me, it's like, I've said it before and I'm gonna say it again. I would rather just mind my business, be quiet. But I know that the Lord is calling me to share this journey and share just aspects of my life that I would much rather keep silent. However, obedience is better than sacrifice. And I was reminded of a scripture. I believe this scripture, I'll put it on the screen. Girl, I just read it the other day. I actually sent it to somebody else the other day. And basically what the man was saying was, don't worry about that, because there was many other ministries that came before theirs and they all came to nothing. So if in fact this ministry is done in their own strength, it'll come to nothing too. And when I say come to nothing, the people died. It came to nothing. Not only did the ministry come to nothing, but they came to nothing. But if this ministry is in the name of Jesus, like they say, if this ministry is in fact in the name of who they say it is in the name of, then we are the ones who should be afraid from trying to stop them. And that's what I have to say. If you are the person, you're watching these videos because you want to take a little glimpse into my life, you're allowing Satan to use you as sort of a monitor. You're a monitoring spirit. I rebuke you. I rebuke you in Jesus' name. And all I have to tell you is be careful. Be very careful. And I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about be very careful in your pursuit to try and stop me from doing what the Lord has called me to do. You have no idea. Like I said, I'd rather keep silent. So this video, I almost, I was not going to post this video after that little speech. I was not going to post this video, but you know what? I've worked hard on this video, and not just have I worked hard on this video, the stuff that happened in this video, somebody else needs to know that the Lord surely is that faithful. Somebody else needs to know that the thing that you're working towards, that you're trying to do in your own strength, that the Lord can from nothing create partnerships, from nothing create opportunities, from nothing financial resources, from nothing. Somebody else needs to know that. And maybe you're not a massage therapist. Maybe you're a mother. Maybe you're a father. Maybe you're a wife. Maybe you're a sister who needs to know that from nothing. And when I say from nothing, the nothing is actually your faith, because faith is the evidence of the thing that we hope for. So essentially, it's not even the thing that we hope for. It's just the evidence. It's just the evidence from nothing. God can use your faith and create anything from nothing. He can do it from nothing. I hope that this entire channel, go take a look around, that you realize that God can do all of this from nothing, just with obedience. Just with you know what, Lord? I actually don't want to, but if you say, my answer, Lord, is yes. Remember the song from yesterday? Man, I was listening to that song this morning. The Holy Spirit ministered to me a song that he gave me again this morning. And while that happened, I was doing the massage, and all I could hear is, my answer is still yes, Lord. I don't want to do it because I know what it comes with. But you know what? My answer is still yes. My answer is still yes. So I'm going to go run my errands. I'm going to be back in time for my last massage. And I'm going to head off to my mobile massage. And I'll see you in a little bit. All right, so I am just finished dropping off my honey. Oh, baby. And it says I'll get to my destination at 11:39. which is definitely kissing Ziklock. I don't know why I sat down and waited so long, but I really just had to gather my thoughts. You know when you got to get yourself together, and what better place to get yourself together than at home? So I am going to be there on time, praise God. My room is already set up, so the extra time that I usually need to be there, I don't really need the extra time. I'm going to try to follow the navigation instead of going the back road, because obviously this one has me calculated being there like 1:40, which I really need to be there like 1:45. So that works. I'm going to see you later, girl. One more appointment. My last appointment actually canceled, which worked out beautifully in my favor. I know it seems weird, but worked out. And I also want to say, I found that people who rebook, like, let's say after the appointment's done, they reschedule on that, like as soon as they're done the appointment, they tend to reschedule most of the time. I found that it's more likely, let me say that, not most of the time. I find it's more likely for them to reschedule when they do that. And I know it usually works to the spa's advantage to have those bookings on there so they can like kind of like insure their money kind of thing. But I find that it doesn't really work out. Like people, because you don't know what's going to happen. Like let's say you booked your next massage for the next month. There's so many things that can happen in a month that, or maybe you just don't even feel like getting a massage at a time. That's why, like, let's say I went to the dentist or something like that, and they said, hey, would you like to, reschedule your next appointment now? I'm like, I'll call and reschedule it, because there's so many things that can happen. Like I need to make the next appointment in a way that fits into my life kind of thing. Which, we had that conversation about like in spa and stuff like that. I find that people try to push that like packages and stuff like that, and this is why it's the worst case scenario, because then someone has to fit into their life, to actually pay for the packages, and they tend to get a little, ticky when they can't schedule in the time for what it is that they pay for. They be wanting refunds and all this kind of stuff. This is the reason why. Okay, but like I said, it worked out for me. I still have quite a bit of time until my other appointment, 2 hours, so I'm just gonna go home. Okay, so it is 3:46. I'm supposed to be there by 4:15, and it's 3:54. Remember, my initial appointment was 3 o'clock, and I definitely could have made it there because of all the cancellations for the day, but I'm still going to get there early. Remember, I don't have to bring a table for this appointment, so that all of that dirt is flying out of that truck to hit people windshields. Huh? I'm still going to bring my bolster, probably my little chair, and like my bag full of stuff, just because. Oh, and my face cradle. I already told you that though. Baby, you know what? No, I ain't gonna bring my face cradle because it's inside of the thing, so that means I don't have to open up the table to actually pull it out, and I should have did that at home if I was gonna do that. So I have my lotions. I'm gonna bring, should I bring the massage gun? I could. I'm gonna see. I don't know. It just depends, okay? I was about to say I could bring something so I could do a bit more deep tissue work. My thumb still hurt from homeboy the other day. Okay, so we ain't doing. I checked the pressure that they want, and it's 7 out of 10, which is a lot. But yeah, we gonna see. So I'm all done, and look at my little seatbelt. Let me put navigation in. It's raining just a little bit. Oh, that was very interesting. So first things first, thank you, Jesus, for the opportunity and the lessons. I appreciate every last thing, all of it. I've learned how to not be bothered by some things. I'm not going to leave them a bad review or anything, but the area of town that I'm in, and I think when the lady, when we concluded the massage, it summed it up. Have you ever been this far north? Ma'am, I live this far north. It's a very, you don't belong on this side of the tracks type of atmosphere over here. So much so when it's nighttime, I'm just telling the truth. You want to hear the truth. When it's nighttime and I'm over here in these parts, it just has a very cry of the people thing going on. You know what I mean? I wouldn't just say old money, because it's not really old money. It's more like stolen money, kind of back here in these parts. You see the white fence, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, I don't even have to say too much. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So yeah, like I said, they enjoyed their massages. That's a blessing. But then I was very confused as well, because while I'm not even gonna go there. A lot of things happened that was like, oh okay, and one of them, girl, he laid a hold of my ankle. Like, he didn't bite me to like hurt, like to where it hurt, but he bit me to where it was like, pay attention kind of bite. And the lady didn't apologize for him. Even, girl, you know, some people just different with their animals. I wish Kendall would. Some people treat their animals like they treat their kids, right? But anyway, yeah, he tried to lay hold of my ankle. He did. He just didn't do it in a way that it hurt. And you know what the lady said? Oh, you didn't acknowledge him. And I'm like, is that how we doing it around here in these parts? What you mean you didn't acknowledge him? And I actually almost turned around. I almost hold a minute and walk back out, because I didn't even have a massage table at that point. At that point, most of the stuff that's in here, man, belongs to you. And I almost left, but I didn't. I did not. I didn't. I said, you know what? I just won't be back. If it's not a dangerous situation, it's just a situation that's makes you uncomfortable. It's not dangerous. It ain't none of that freaky stuff going on. I just kind of be like, okay, I just won't be back. And that's really the good thing about doing it after. You get to choose. You won't be back. I got a chance to tell a client. I want to call her a customer that I had the other day. Like, this is my rules. If you want to book with the app, you go ahead and book with the app. But these are my rules for booking with me. Okay? So you can, you know, a lot of times people waste their money and they don't get like good massages. I bought hot stones. Even in there, I bought the whole 9. So you going to treat me with some respect, or you just won't see my black behind again. And that's that on that. Okay? That's that on that. And so that's how that went. The whole dog situation and all of that. No ma'am, Pam, no ma'am. This appointment, and that is don't be bought. I was just talking to my husband, and that's what I said I learned, because that's truly what I learned. Don't be bought. There's a lot of money out here. There's a lot of money being, you know, tossed around. When you're in the spa, you see a different side of it than when you actually go in people's house. When you go in these literally mansions and you see how people are living, and you see the world out there, you see how hard it is for you to connect the dots for your bills, and you're looking like, say what? But don't be bought. There is a certain way that you're going to treat me. There's a certain level of respect that you can play around the apps. Like I said, you can jump to and from on the apps. You can get a good massage here, a bad massage here, a good massage here. You can do that. But in order to book with me, and I pray that you have that same sort of mindset, in order to have, like, book with me, in order for me to come out in all my professionalism, and I want, like I said, I'm not just talking about me like I'm so good. I want you to have the same mindset. In order for me to come out, there's a certain way that you're going to treat me. You're not going to book any kind of way. You're not going to talk to me any kind of way. When I'm there in your home, I need to feel welcome too. I know I'm the one doing the massage. You're the one getting the massage. But I'm also in the foreign place as well. There should be a level of respect. And I think, you know, as a person of color, especially when you go in places and maybe you don't see people of color, don't be bought. I said this to say, I said that I had to get a client together. Well, she tipped me really good. She tipped me the amount of money that I would make with one massage in spa. She tipped me really well. However, there is a certain level of respect. I'm telling you, these people will stress you out. And at the end of the day, money isn't that important. Money pays my bills, but I can't be bought. Don't try to buy me. And I feel like some people do that. Some people actually tip you really good, treat you terrible, tip you really good, so then you're left confused as to if you want to return or not. I told you guys about the client that I had, who I told them, this was a long time ago, I was telling them, like, you know, you can, if you want to rebook me, do this and that, because I did like a party for them. And long story short, they wanted to continue to book me through the app, and then they will prioritize my request on the app. However, you know for a fact that this app isn't paying me all my money. So if you want me to come back, why not make sure that I'm getting compensated accordingly? If you want me to come back, I'm not begging you to come back. You want me to come back. But they always tip well, and they leave a cash tip. But the Lord told me, don't come back here. And guess what? I didn't return. I got a request since then. I did not return. You'll take your time over there trying to find another massage therapist that's going to come in and be professional, because there's a whole lot of foolishness going on between the tardiness and all. This appointment, remember, is supposed to start at 3 o'clock, but I messaged them a whole day before, so they were, well prepared for me to be late or for me to adjust the time. Okay, so I'm just saying, don't be bought, because if you can be bought out here, they'll buy you. They will put cash down on the table for your behind, and you'll be out here doing all kind of tricks. You want to know how people giving happy endings? They're bought. They're bought. How much money what the girl told me recently? The man said, how much money can I pay you to get a good massage? What $400 do? You think she was just giving a regular massage? You think that's what he wanted? No. Don't be bought, because I'm telling you, you'll be out here tricking and treating. Hey girl, hey. It's 1:52, and as you can tell, it's quite dark outside because it is raining. This candy is pretty good. You ever had that? It's called Mambo. Oh, my lips a little dry. It's 1:53, and I'm headed to work, and as you can see, it's raining, and it's quite dark outside. So that means it's gonna rain real good, and I think it's gonna rain for a while. I only have 2 appointments on my schedule. One at the top of the shift and then one at the bottom of the shift, which means I can't leave early. And hopefully the other 2 get booked, but I only have the capabilities to do 4 massages today, and I'm really not mad at 2. I'm really not mad at 2. Okay, I'm feeling like I could have just took the day off, but I already told you guys about the whole call-in thing. That goes for me too. Now to go on call, or if nobody's on my schedule, or to block it off, that's different. But to just, I'm not coming in just because I don't feel like coming in, or the weather I'm not gonna do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and take these 2 appointments. Looks like my first appointment might be an elderly client, just by the notes. Oh, excuse me. Just by the notes that the front desk left about the person, just by the notes that the front desk left. It might be an elderly client, which is okay. It needs a nice light massage from the notes that I read, which is good. That's what a light massage. And then the last one, I'm not sure. I think it's a couple, so also more relaxing as well, and I love that too. So if anything else gets on my schedule, then I'll let you know as we go. But that's it. I'm not taking any mobile appointments today. I still have mobile appointments tomorrow and the next day, so yeah. I'm here at work. It's still raining, but I wore my raincoat. And I have another appointment. So remember, I had 2 on my way driving here. I got a 3rd. So more than likely, I'm going to have a 4th if the rain didn't stop the 3rd, and that's okay too. Okay. Looks like the pressure, the 3rd person, the person who just booked once, is medium pressure. I can never tell by the intake form. Sometimes I can tell by the therapist's notes what kind of massage it's going to be. But the massage that I got to give today is relaxing. Okay, relaxing with a little, firm pressure. If you ain't paid for deep today, you're not getting deep. Today is not a deep day if you didn't pay for deep. I'm just saying. Girl, it ain't got cold outside. Like a little chilly. How we went from 90 degrees to chilly, ma'am? I don't know what time it is because I'm on my phone. But I just finished 2 massages. I think I told y'all So I just finished 2 massages. Man, the Lord is moving. Both of those massages were great. Both of them were great. And I'm not going to sit here and explain to you why. Okay? Just know I did 2 massages. The first one, At first I started her off side lying, and then she tried laying face down, and she liked that as well. And then I ended up flipping her over to her feet. I went over the time on that one just because our intake was a little bit longer, because we had a few other things to discuss, like medical conditions and stuff like that she wanted to discuss with me. And I just let her talk, honestly, because I was just trying to hear if it was going to like disrupt how comfortable she would be on the tables, which is why we started outside lying. And then, like I said, I flipped her over. The next client just wanted backside of the body. So as of right now, I don't have a client after my break. And if I do get a client for the last one, well, I do have a client for my last one, which is a couples massage, I believe. If they do full body, it's going to seem like a very short massage, because the last 2 massages I did was not full body massages. So let me do the notes for that, and I'll talk to you guys later. Okay, so you can see me a little bit. I just finished the shift. It is 8:09 p.m. Do have a cash tip as well. My last client was a very much hard body massage, okay? Getting very much hard body. So, but we're all done for the day. I do have to work in the morning. So I'm gonna go rest my hands, because even though the other three massages, the other 2 massages that I had for the day were like basically light, the last one, my wrists are saying, girl, please. I did see on one of the apps, there was a back-to-back massage again that I missed, and it was for the 18th. So I actually probably would have taken that one, but I missed it. So there's that. I'll see y'all later. All right, girl. Good morning. Hello. It's just about to be 12 o'clock. Just about to be 12 o'clock, and I'm headed off to the only appointment I have today. I almost got another appointment, but I was like, you know what, I'm trying to do too much. So I packed all my stuff up, and I want to show you this. So here is my lotion like holsters, right? And there's 2 of them in here. Now for work, I use both lotion as well as oil. This is my job's oil, and they use coconut oil, and I really don't necessarily like, it's not a product that I would use. I use a nut-free oil for my like personal clients. However, I have to use these for work. So what I'm doing is switching these out, and I have my own products. You guys know I have my own oil. I have my own lotion. Stealing. Technically, if I were to use, you know, hold on. Tomorrow, yes, I know. If I were to use the products from work for my own clients, it's stealing. Now, if I were to accidentally, which I was doing at first, like I accidentally used the stuff that I buy for the clients at work, that's not necessarily stealing. That's just wasting my own money, which I don't want to do. But I'm also not going to be stealing from my job using their products. I buy my own lotion. So I'm just going to sit these in here. It's actually 57 degrees outside. I know, and I have on this very small shirt, but hey, I have my own oils, like I said. So I have my lotion in there, and then I'm going to put in this side the oil that the client would choose. I have a bunch of them. I even put more than I usually have in there, so I have that. I just wanted to clear that up just in case anybody was like, isn't that the stuff that you have for work? Yeah, these are the ones that I have for work, but I keep work stuff separate from my own. One, because I'm a woman of integrity, and two, because it's expensive for me to use my products for work, and it's stealing to do the opposite. So let me go ahead and head to my appointment. I'm on time / early. This is the door. All done. Oh man. So that was a great massage. It was actually a couple from Louisiana. You know, it was a couple from Louisiana. They were on their, girl, look at my shirt. They were on their 1-year anniversary, which was very nice. It was a great massage. However, I do have something to say. We're gonna go ahead and end this video. So I worked with a young lady, amazing therapist. You could tell her techniques were good and all that kind of stuff. But everybody don't know how these apps go. And I think if you don't know the answer to something, you just should say that you don't know so that nobody misses out, right? So she had the gentleman, and the gentleman asked, where do they make the payment? Now, I mentioned this app before, telling you that they were basically stealing, because that's what it is. And I'm about to show you how they're stealing. I'm going to let you know what app it is, so you know what to look out for. She had the gentleman was doing the payment, and he asked her, how do you pay? And I told you guys before that a client asked me, how do they pay for the massage? No, a client asked the front desk, how do they pay for the massage? And the front desk told them to pay me. And when I got up there doing the right thing, being a woman of integrity, right? I said, no, don't pay me. You pay the front desk. And if you want to leave any gratuity, you leave the gratuity for me. And the man was like, basically, okay. Well, after all of that was said and done, the app still paid me the same exact rate. And then I found out that they actually took more money off that rate. So it was a 75-minute massage, and I was getting paid the same amount that I would make for a 60-minute massage, plus the tip. Plus they kept the money from the tip. So when the girl said that, I'm like, well, there goes our tip, because what they're going to do is try to give our gratuity to the front desk. Well, what's going to happen? They're going to take it. They're going to take it for housekeeping, whatever else, just simply steal it. They're going to take it. And I'm going to put up for you on the screen here. It says $80 is for the appointment. It was a 60-minute massage. And then $12 for the predicted tip. And I explained this to her, so hopefully she gets it as well. Let's say they leave a $100 tip. It's still only going to give us $80, no matter how much they leave. So where does that $100 go? It floats off into, the business, the corporate pockets, corporate greed, as opposed to the client just paying us the gratuity and then zeroing it out. This app is Zeal. This is Zeal app. I do like the frequency of appointments that you get here. However, there are other apps. Soothe is another app where I'm noticing that, after you take a few appointments, that app is kicking as well. They don't take your tips. They give you the full tip. Like, let's say I put one on the screen. Let's say this appointment is just $66. If the client tips me, $20, I get the full amount. And the same thing goes for like when I'm working at the spa. I would definitely stay away from places, apps, and all that kind of stuff. I work for this app and this location specifically because it's very close to home and I really like the setup. Obviously, I'm not getting clientele from doing this because these are people from out of town. So it's not like I'm stealing clients. I don't believe in stealing clients. If somebody asks for your information and if they go and find me, that's really their business. But I'm just kind of telling you how the apps work. Big Toe as well, they don't steal tips like that either. Zeal is the app that I found that is stealing. And I would say it's just the spa locations, but it's not. It's all the way around. When they do the in-home massage, they'll literally, if I have the screenshots, I'll put it for you on the screen. It doesn't matter how much the client tips, the base rate that you get just doesn't move. I contacted the app about it, and basically they said it's how much you get paid. I'm gonna put the conversation on the screen. That's basically what they said. Girl, that's how much you get paid. Is there anything else I can help you out with? So I'm just letting you guys know that. Remember, the goal here is to build your own clientele. And then the crazy thing is, I came in there with hot stones, and I'm glad that I did. I usually don't bring hot stones to a couple's massage, but he was getting a different kind of massage. She did more of like a sports kind of deep work with him. The wife said that she really wanted something relaxing. So I'm glad that I bought all the amenities in there for a nice relaxing massage for her, because it was something, like, it was a gift that she really wanted. And I'm glad that I could, do that for them. Girl, I love anniversaries. And I love black love, okay? I love to see us coming up out of fornication. Come on, somebody. I love to see marriages. I love to see children and families. I absolutely love that. I love what the Lord is doing, okay? So I'm not mad at all about the tip. I'm just saying, I'm just telling you how they be stealing, okay? And I let her know. So the next time she come around here between Normandy and Western, she know how it's going, okay? So this video has been long, but it's been good. The Lord has been faithful. The Lord has surely been faithful. I'm going to say this one more thing before I go. I did a rebooking the other day, and I said I was not going to rebook this client. And I didn't say I wasn't going to rebook this client for the same reason that I didn't rebook the other one. Remember, I told you the Holy Spirit said, don't you come back here. This one was more of my personal preferences, how I was treated, how I felt. And the Lord swiftly reminded me that it's not about how I feel. So I'm going to give this people a second chance to make a first impression. Okay, and then we'll move from there. So I went ahead and rebooked with them. I'm not gonna tell you what appointment it was. I went ahead. They sent me a request for a rebooking through the app, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and take it. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay. So as always, girl, if you have a question, ask one, and I'll see you in the next video.